supplicate you, Manjushri, adorned by the 112 sons of Buddha, to dispel the darkness of my ignorance. Om Wanga Shoramo, 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 Om Wanga Shoramo. Om Wanga Shoramo, Om Wanga Shoramo, Om Wanga Shoramo, Om Wanga Shoramo, Om Arapatsanade, Om Arapatsanade, Om Arapatsanade, Om Arapatsanade, Om Arapatsanade, Om Arapatsanade, you who are the perfect, beautiful body, whose flame of wisdom blazes, and dispel the darkness of worldly ignorance, I prostrate before you and praise you, Manjushri. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so way of Bodhisattva. We are chapter 5. Way of Bodhisattva has chapter 9, chapter 10. So we are in the chapter 5, the alertness chapter. So then this chapter is alertness chapter has 109 verses. So we are the verses 80. Verses 80. So this chapter, alertness chapter, is a part of the morality, conduct. So we have the 6 paramita. The first 2 chapters is first 3 chapters is more about generosity part. This chapter 4, 5 is for focus for morality. So then this way of Bodhisattva's practice morality, conduct is followed by 3 different conduct level. So it's called the abandon the non-virtuous and cultivate virtuous, benefit for other beings. So that 3 different ways practice this conduct morality part. So now here is the right today. Yesterday mostly we focus is cultivate the virtuous deeds. So verses 80. Verses 80 is, I think, is finished yesterday. So today is 81.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, verses 81. Are always being motivated by great aspiration or being motivated by reminder forces. You are all in the fields of excellence, benefit and misery. Great virtues will come about. So this verses 81 is the power of virtuous deeds. So we create many different ways cultivate virtuous deeds. So this is the 81 is the power of virtuous deeds. Use this way, then your practice dharma, virtuous deeds, is more powerful. So always means like we have to practice always, not only just one day, 1 month, 1 year, all the time, always. Then being motivated by great aspiration, so good intention, must have to have a bodhicitta. So any like practice, especially Yidam deity practice, and very important three excellences. Cultivate bodhicitta, and when you into the practice, like really into the focus and concentrate the practice, main practice, visualize clearly, and then also dedication, end of the practice, dedication. So that way, that practice is like great aspiration. Uh, that has very powerful. That way, practice is very powerful, and also the practice purify karma and create accumulation merit, and that practice lead to the track to the Buddhahood. Then also, or being motivated by reminder forces. So when we practice is followed by the six parameters: generosity and good intention. With generosity, good intention, then benefit others with morality, patience, effort, concentration, wisdom. So long as you have been motivated by the reminder forces, it's like all these six parameter comes in together your practice, then that practice is antidote to our or the negative emotions. So like example, first generosity. Generosity is antidote self, antidote strangers. So that's where we have to use the forces, means like antidote. We have a selfish, so that's the reason we sometimes meditate selflessness of phenomena, selflessness of a person, like kind of meditate like something antidote to our negativity practice. This six parameter is antidote to our usually we generated negativity, samsaric activity generate negativity. This practice six parameters antidote to that. So that's the reason we have to remind their forces. Then actually that part is a lot of information because each level have different ways antidote to our emotions. So love, compassion, bodhicitta, you then the wisdom, all this practice yadam deity, practice guru yoga, all this is antidote to our negativity. So different ways. Also use the our capacity. Different individuals need different practice to remove the negativities. If I walk in the fields of excellences, benefit and misery, great virtue will come about. So that means if we walk in the fields of excellences, what is the fields of excellences? Is object of Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. We do something offering to Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and use the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Then practice Dharma is a powerful object. So that is called fields of excellences. The practice is powerful. So the reason is a special object, using special object. Then also fields of excellences, our parents. So you benefit our own parents. So that's also powerful practice, powerful, that helps also create a lot of accumulation merit. Fields of excellences, two. And then also someone who's suffering, sickness beings, who's suffering, who has a sick, and then you benefit for them. That's also powerful practice. That fields of excellences, benefit and misery, great virtue will come about. So that's so benefit and misery means someone who has a really suffering, who has a very difficult that time, you benefit for that person, and then that also great virtues will come about. So that three is usually very special object to create accumulation merit, purify our karma. Then verses 82, endowed with wisdom and joy, I should undertake all that I do. I need not depend upon anyone else in any action that I undertake. So the way we practice way of Bodhisattva, we have to, understanding. We need wisdom to practice the way of Bodhisattva, understanding clearly. So that's the reason endowed with wisdom and joy. First, we need wisdom. We have to understanding what we're doing, practice through the wisdom. Then and the joy, and we need effort, happy to do that. Also, faith, devotion. So I should undertake all that I do. Then the practice, we always, all the time we practice it. This use the bodhicitta with devotion and effort, with patience, all these good qualities have to come together. Then I should undertake all that I do, practice, do the action. I need not depend upon anyone else. So when we're going to practice Dharma is not relying on someone. So that's the reason we have to understanding. We need wisdom, understanding clearly what we're doing. Then with joy and effort, all this comes together, and I need not, when we do the virtuous deeds, we not need to depend upon anyone else. If you rely on others, then harder to cultivate virtuous deeds. When we're going to create virtuous deeds, not rely on any others. So that's the reason we have to study this way of Bodhisattva, have to learn, and we have to know how to practice way of Bodhisattva. In any action that I undertake, whatever we do, we understanding clearly and not depending for others. We practice way of Bodhisattva, practice Dharma. So that's the reason we have to learn, study, and have to come wisdom to arise. So then the perfection, the verses 83, the perfection such as generosity are progressively more exalted. But for later morality, I should not forsake a great gift. Principally, I should consider what will be of the most benefit for others. So if you are not dependent for others when you practice Dharma, then you know what is important, what practice is most important. Otherwise, we don't know, I do that or not. So you always have a doubt. So the main point, the Buddha said, and the Shantideva says, the perfection such as generosity are progressively more exalted, means like generosity is comparing to morality. Morality is more important. And morality is comparing to the patience. Patience is more important. Patience is comparing to joyful effort. Joyful effort practice is more important. So joyful effort is comparing to meditation. Meditation is more important. Meditation is comparing to wisdom. Wisdom is more important. So that's the reason we are progressively, first step is generosity, then we go up to morality, up to, progressing, go up and up, more exerted. That way we have to practice. If you have a pick up generosity, morality, so then you have to pick up morality, have to do that, practice that, focus more for that way. Morality is comparing to patience. You have to practice more patience comparing to morality. So that's generally we have to do that way, but means not always like that. That means like we always have to learn, we have to understanding, not depending for others. We have to understanding. But for little morality, I should not forsake a great gift. So if you little morality, the morality is like just small kind of like virtuous deeds. You're going to do that, or taking care of your body, speech, mind, something small things. Then you can do something more better than generosity, like bigger benefit for others. Then Shantideva said, do generosity. So not always comparing morality is more better than generosity. Also the dependent sometimes. I should not forsake a great gift. So take generosity and do that practice. It's later morality if we have to give up, do something generosity. That's also you can do that way. Principally, I should consider the main important is so we were of the most benefit for others. Which one is more benefit for other beings? So that we have to check, first priority, and use that, do practice that one, pick up that one. Your morality is important to the generosity, but some ways your generosity is more benefited than your morality. Then Shantideva said, pick up generosity. Actually, this 6 parameters follow direction is generosity is easy than morality. Morality is easy than patience. So that's the reason going up is more higher practice, increasing practice. But not always like that. Sometimes it's like dependent situation. And that's the reason we have to understanding this attitude says endowed with wisdom, means we have to know what we're doing, understanding, not relying on someone, so not dependent on someone. We have to understanding which is correct, which is more benefit. We have to know. If you know that, then you can pick up which one is principally I should consider what will of the most benefit for others. So that's all the section is cultivate virtuous deeds. Bodhisattvas practice virtuous deeds. So now, and starting here is Bodhisattvas practice is more focused for benefit for others, benefit for other beings. So benefit for other beings, when this is well understood, I should always strive for the welfare of others. The foreseeing, merciful ones have allowed a Bodhisattva to do some actions that for others were forbidding. These verses 83 and 84 we always use this important quote. So now we are into the, the Bodhisattva's action benefit for others. So this morality, we are already just shared, the levels, 3 different levels goes. Nichu Dompa means Tibetan is like abandon the non-virtuous. Then, Gevachidi is like cultivate virtuous deeds, practice virtuous deeds. So Semchin Tongzi is like benefit for other beings. There are 3 different levels Bodhisattvas practice. Then the usually more beginner Bodhisattvas then have to practice is like abandon the non-virtuous deeds. That's we have to beginner Bodhisattva have more focus for abandon the non-virtuous deeds. Then, so the practitioner is into the accumulation part and engaging part. Then they have to focus more for cultivate virtuous deeds. And then the practitioner is realize absolute truth, like first for me Bodhisattva, to all the way to enter Buddhahood is focus for benefit for others. So that is principally, importantly, we have to practice it that way. So now actually we are beginners. We have to focus more, abandon non-virtuous deeds through our body, speech, and mind. We have to focus more about for that. That is for easy for us. Then go up to cultivate virtuous deeds. Then during that time is we can benefit others. Of course, we can benefit others, but really you can benefit others is like starting from the first Pemi Bodhisattva. Other like beginner level and accumulation and engaging part still not much can benefit others. So that's the reason we have to focus first 2 is more in the beginners. Abandon the non-virtuous, cultivate virtuous deeds. So now here, benefit for others. So when this is well understood, Bodhisattvas understand all this, abandon non-virtuous and cultivate, practice virtuous deeds, follow the morality, well understood. Then what they should do, I should always strive for the welfare of others. So now then going to benefit for others, 100% focus benefit for others. So this is not for beginners. I just told you, like, just have to think about where we are, our level. The far-seeing, merciful ones means Buddha. So Buddha seeing more far away. That's the reason have allow a Bodhisattva to do some actions that for others were forbidding. So Bodhisattva can do something different than ordinary people can do. So what we shared in all this way of Bodhisattva, the Bodhisattva's conduct, so who can really benefit for other beings, that Bodhisattva not always have to follow that case. They can do something different. It's their can benefit for others. So that's the reason Buddha gave permission to do that. Not permission for beginners. It's permission to some Bodhisattva who has good, skillful method, they can do these things. So I shared sometimes the story that you mostly knows. the Depo Ninja Chenpo is the one ship captain. So in the boat has 900 people in the ship. So then another guy, he has negative intention. He wanted to kill all these people when they get in the boat, when get in the ocean. So he hid the weapon and he wanted to use that. He wanted to kill everyone. So then ship captain recognized that. He killed this guy who has like bad intention or negative intention. That kind of action. So a lot to do who has a skillful method. Even killing also, actually it's strong non-virtuous deeds. Killing is a strong non-virtuous deed. But some bodhisattva who has skillful method, so then they can do actions, that kind, but not a lot for beginners. And so the Chef Ketin did that, but he also created so much accumulation, merit, no any negative he generated. Also, there are many stories. Then, due to some another attachment, and there's talk about this story, and another girl is strong attachment desire, so she's going to die, and then one bodhisattva give up the the vow and be with husband many years, and also the person get strong virtuous deeds. So that kind of bodhisattva has some even here says cannot do, but some that kind who has skillful method, who has compassion, who thinking about the benefit for others, who take that first, who can do that, that person has permission to do that. They're doing that thing is not become non-virtuous. They are become virtuous deeds. So that's the Shantideva saying, said the far-seeing merciful ones have allowed, means like give permission to do that, are bodhisattvas, to do some actions that for others were forbidden. Then next is benefit generosity other beings. So generosity is actually more, Buddha said, like giving practice for the lay practitioners. So I should divide my food amongst those who have fallen to lower realms, those without protection, and the practitioners, and eat merely what is sufficient for myself. Except for the 3 robes, I may give away all. So we benefit for others. That's the reason also giving generosity. Should divide my food. We have food amongst those who have fallen to lower realms. So who has wrong views, who has wrong thoughts, or who going to create a negative, that kind of people wanted to serve you. You use the generosity and serve the people, beings too. So this one is I should divide my food amongst those who have fallen to lower realms. The main point is food, like think about during the Buddha's time, and then the monks always get offering the baked food. They get the offering, and then the like 10 monks or 20 or 100 goes together. So some get more, some didn't get much, some didn't get anything. So that's the reason they come together and they share each other. This food is, I should divide my food amongst, so everyone. So, and then generosity is actually more focused for lay practitioners. Lay practitioners also give for something, offering, giving for others, those who have fallen to lower ranks, those without protections, who don't have protection means like who really need food, who really need drink, who really need clothes. So who are suffering, like hunger and thirsty. So that kind of need protections. We have to help them to giving those without protection, and practitioners. Uh, and practitioners, like some practitioners, uh, we share something, giving generosity for them, offering to them, then they can maintaining their practice. So, example, someone going to uh, study Sheda, so like they need something like it's kind of the same as like we give a scholarship, so that kind of way. And someone going to retreat, so we support for like food or drink or place to stay and that kind, and practitioners. And eat merely what is sufficient for myself. So then we eat also like what we need. Uh, the Shantideva said, don't eat too much, don't eat too little. Need eat is what exactly what we need, and eat merely what is sufficient for myself. Uh, so if eat too much, then of course it's problem. We know that eat too much and become gain weight and healthy problems. If you don't eat too much, and then also you lose your healthy and you don't have enough energy to practice dharma. So that's the reason eat merely what is sufficient for myself. Eat also good things, no harming for others. Except for the 3 robes, I may give away all. So that is during the Buddha time, he giving suggestion for monks. And some monks didn't have robes. So Buddha said, don't give 3 robes they need. Each you have to keep 3 robes. Other extra, he said, give to others if you have extra. Uh, so the main point is like what we have to do is like what we need, we kept that. Then what we don't need, extra things, giving for others, benefit for others. We don't have to keep. The one thing is not important, right? What we need is more important. So what you need, then you use that. If something you don't use, you have extra, then you just give for donation to others. So also you can check your home. Some things like you didn't touch like 3 years. 3 years, within 3 years, you never use, give up, because that means you don't need. Okay. So if you use something like 1 year ago, then maybe you need. So this generosity also followed by our individual level means like beginners just giving generosity also something easy ones, not something you really need giving for others, then you get also regret. So what you do something, not going to get regret. That's most important. After you do, then you get regret. Your virtuous deed is gone, no benefit. So generosity, this part also, if long as you have a good method, means skillful method, you know how to do, use this good, intention way. If you lose something, that's also you like give up your mind. Think about, okay, I lose that is wish to benefit who get that others. So that become actually really lost. Is you are use that is for generosity. So someone stealing things, then if you give up, you cannot get back. So you give up your mind and dedicate. Think about that's also my generosity. Wish the person who get is benefit, no get any causes of suffering for that reason. Something like that. you mentally giving up and do dedication. So that's also become generosity. We have to use some, skillful ways, practice Dharma. Then 86 verses 86. This body which is being used for the sacred Dharma should not be harmed for only slight benefit. By my behaving in this way, the wishes of our beings will be quickly fulfilled. So when you going to practice Dharma, so your body is important, but not attached to. Like yesterday, we already told the body, don't attach to your body. Don't too much fixation to your body. You have to use your body, but don't give up your body. Okay? So you have to use. We need the body. We have to use our body. So that's the reason here says this body which is being used for the sacred Dharma practice. When you practice Dharma, your body is useful, important. That's the reason should not be harm for only slightly benefit. Don't harm to your body. Someone asks you your body. Shantideva said, don't give your body. You look to like small benefit for others, become you lose big things. If you lose your body, you cannot practice Dharma. You cannot maintain your practice. Then you lose whole your practice. So that's the reason should not be harm for only slightly benefit. Just benefit something, small things, don't give for others. So that is for example, and you need something. You need something really important for you. Things don't give for others. Otherwise, you get regret again. And you lose that, then something you support your practice Dharma. Don't give up that, don't give for others. So you need that, you have to keep that. Then, of course, like this should not be harmful for only slightly benefit, means like giving body for others, not much benefit, big harmful for beginners. Beginners means like beginner bodhisattvas. And actually, until first permit bodhisattva, Buddha not allowed to give up your body to giving for others. Then first permit bodhisattva level, you can give up your body. Then you have realized absolute truth. Even you give your body, not affected your practice, not lose your practice, become your practice is like progressing. Until first permit bodhisattva, you give body for others, then they affect your practice, Dharma. So, not the talking about the when we die and give organs for the medical, hospitals. So that is different. So when you live right now, you are practice Dharma, so someone asks you your organs. Don't give, because you have to use that for your practice, the main point. By my behaving in this way, the wishes of all beings will be quickly fulfilled. So, of course, we need our good intention, aspiration, wishes of all beings will quickly fulfilled, which benefit for them. But some actions are not ready to do. Your aspiration always must have, that is great aspirations. But action is also followed by your level, capacity. Then go to the verses 87. Those who lack the pure intention of compassion should not give their body away. Instead, both in this and future lives, should give it to the cause of fulfilling the great purpose. So, even we give body for others until first maybe Bodhisattva level, hard to we say is we have good intention, of compassion. So someone unconditional compassion, then could be they can give their body, but who don't have unconditional compassion, who don't have like full measurable practice, hard to have good intention giving body for others. You can give like sometimes your organs like for your relatives, but not someone like don't know someone, hard to give for that kind, because the if you give someone, it's like not enough pure intention. So we need a good intention. Those who lack the pure intention of compassion, they should not give the body away. Don't give the body. So that's example is a body, but everything, anything like that, anything you're giving something for others, offerings, need good intention with compassion. Otherwise, don't give. Have to just practice on your mind, aspiration, not engaging. Instead, both in this and future lives, they should give it to the cause of fulfilling the great purpose. Then, giving something, like especially giving for our body, giving things like for usefully. So cause of fulfilling the great purpose, the giving that things like benefit them, and also that practice is a causes of Buddhahood. Long as you have a good intention, have a compassion, then giving things. So that is a cause of fulfilling with a great purpose, means like really benefit others and also benefit for yourself too. So generosity, benefit others or not, is also depending your intention, your compassion, your love. So long as you have that, you do things, it's benefit. So then that benefit others and benefit yourself. So then next, like giving dharma generosity. That part we already shared. That is a material, physical things like generosity, how to do. And next is a dharma, teaching, like giving generosity, dharma. The dharma should not be explained to those who lack respect, to those who, like a segme, wear cloth around their heads, to those holding umbrellas, sticks or warpings, to those with covered heads. So verses 88, when you giving generosity dharma, so you have to know which kind of person you give to dharma. Not for everyone, means like someone who don't have respect for dharma. Then if you share dharma to them, giving dharma to them, no benefit of that person. So that's the reason dharma should not be explained to those who lack respect. Who don't have respect for dharma, don't give dharma teachings. Because the reason is no benefit to them. They don't need. They don't want. Then why you push them, That's also we have to learn. Sometimes people try to push dharma to, who don't need. That's also incorrect. The main important is that there have to, that someone who really need Dharma, they have to want their motivation, they wanting something, you know. Then you can share who has respect for Dharma. Who you know they don't have respect. So just auto level, you look to the person, to those who uh, like sick me. If the person is sick, then it's okay. If the person is not sick, then wear cloth around the head. So just cloth put in the head, then that means like they don't want listening, they don't need, they don't respect, so don't share the Dharma. This is part is actually have to follow by culture, you know, not always in this case, because used to is like word is very big. No, is word is so small. Used to like you was born U.S., you cannot get any other country. You always have this that culture. So whatever you talk is like no misunderstand. So during that time, Shantideva he shared in India. So that time, the only that people can go to India, no any other countries. They don't get any other countries. So whatever he talks, there culturally they are correct for them. So now its world is become lost like one country, so it's small, and you share one thing, it goes whole global. So that reason is culturally talk something is not for everyone, you know. That's the reason we have to follow the culture, and which way is not respect your culture, then who has that kind of, you know, showing for you, then don't share Dharma for them. Uh, the someone is sick, then there's exception, right? You can accept permission to do for that person. Even the person is not sick, then wear cloth around the head. To those holding umbrellas, stick or warpings, they carry the warpings with their own body, maybe holding the guns, you know, and then to those with cover heads, so they cover the heads, the put head in the head is put in the head. So that kind of person means like no showing respect for Dharma. They don't have to share to the Dharma for them. So that's the you share the Dharma. The wise problem is not going to benefit for them, and then they don't respect for Dharma. They also create causes of like incorrect, you know, suffering. That's the reason don't share for them. Then no to a woman unaccompanied by a man, the vast and the profound should not be talked to lesser beings, although should always pay equal respect to the Dharma of the lesser and the higher beings. So this, you know, Shantideva share is in the monastery. So he giving says no to a woman uncompounded by me. So main teachers cannot share Dharma teaching only one woman. So also like one nun cannot share to Dharma teaching for only one man. Just that is like, you know, dependent. The reason is sometimes like the causes of attachment, you know, desire arise. The also not always like that. We have to follow by the just it's 84. So 84. When this is well understood, I should always strive for the welfare of others. The far-seeing, merciful ones have allowed a bodhisattva to some actions that for others were forbidding. So have think that way, you know, not always like that case. So if you really benefit for others, then you have to do that. You recognize that it's no cause of attachment, and you see that is a benefit for others. As long as you have enough compassion, and have to do that. There's also have lots of stories about that too. Then Shariputra, he shared teaching for only for one woman, and the woman is become get realized. So that means like not always like negative there, because it's like long as you benefit the person and you can allow to do that. It's permission to do that. It's a dependent individual level. Then the ways and the perform should not be taught to lesser beings. So someone didn't have a capacity to practice a high level dharma. So someone has strong selfish, only thinking about own benefit. So you say, oh, you have to benefit others, you need bodhicitta. So that not suitable for them. So we say, okay, do good things. The result is you are reborn to higher realms. So you do practice dharma that benefit you. You are reach Buddhahood. You reach, free from samsara. You get liberation. You have to share that, and benefit that person who doing that. That's they like to hear that way. So if you say benefit others, and then they don't want to hear that, not ready to do that. So something they needed to hear the benefit, own benefit. So practice the dharma, say, okay, you do this, really benefit for you. Okay? So you have to share that way. Otherwise, they're not ready to learn that, no enough capacity. And then someone is like not ready to practice Vajrayana teaching. So then you push in the Vajrayana, that's also incorrect too. So always follow by the capacity, and the individual have different dispositions, faculties. So that's the reason when we chant the prayer is like requesting to the Dharma teaching. So that is clearly there, requesting Dharma is like follow the capacity and the dispositions. So what they need, that Dharma is, we have to share for them, what the person's ability, and we have to share that Dharma teaching for them. So someone is a lay practitioner, lay person, have family. So you cannot say, oh, you have to give up your family to go to monastery, you must be monk. That's also not ready to for them, no allowed, that also not really great for information to them too. So you can be stay at your home, and you can have family, but still you can practice the Dharma. Like you have like something you can get what you need. Then also all those should always pay equal respect. So we always have to pay equal respect for, doesn't matter the person practitioner is a lesser worker or higher worker, which kind of capacity, the person is man or woman, or doesn't matter the practitioner is man or none, they always just pay equal respect to the Dharma of lesser and higher beings. So then Dharma also with pay respect same. So you say, oh, this is like Hinayana. I want Mahayana. So you no respect Hinayana, want Mahayana, then that's also incorrect. So you say, oh, I like Vajrayana teaching. Oh, I don't like Hinayana. So that's also incorrect. Oh, I like Hinayana, I don't like Vajrayana. That's also incorrect. Always pay equal respect, and always pay equal respect for practitioners too. Always respect same equal for Dharma, same equal for practitioners. I should not, the verses 90, I should not communicate the Dharma of a lesser being to one who is a vessel for the ways of Dharma. I must not forsake the Bodhisattva way of life nor mislead others by means of sutras or mantras. Someone is like capacity has a higher level, means like should not communicate the dharma of a lesser being, means the person is capacity have wanted to the higher like bodhisattva practice, vajrayana practice. Then you say no, you don't not good at that. You have to practice hinayana, sometimes benefit yourself. That's also incorrect. If you put it that way, then that's also wrong. So the person has capacity to practice bodhicitta. The person is like bodhisattva's capacity, bodhisattva's family. Then don't take into the lower worker. So you have to share the higher teaching for them, what they're like, and they have a capacity, have to share that. To one who is a vessel for the West Dharma. See, someone has like vessel for the West Dharma means like Mahayana, Vajrayana teaching who really have that capacity, and you only share lesser being means like lesser Hinayana teaching for them. That's also incorrect. I must not forsake the Bodhisattva way of life. Then whatever we do, practice Dharma, never give up way of Bodhisattva practice. Never give up Bodhisattva conduct. So nor mislead others by means of sutra or mantra, no misleading the teachings. So nor mislead means Dharma teaching has so many different kind of levels. Dharma teaching is the same as medicine. So mislead means like someone has a headache, you giving, stomach medicine. That is called mislead, like that. So the Dharma has like teaching has relative truth teaching, absolute truth teachings. So then, something is absolute truth teaching is like you think, oh, that is like you do this right now, you happening like that. It's bring to the relative truth. It's become incorrect. So also mislead is a example. You chant like sutra, or you purify your karma. You see the Buddhas. See in this prayer says you chant this prayer, purify karma. You chant 3 times or purify your karma. In this sutra says, oh, you chant this, you see Buddha, see, you do that. Then the person is to follow the words, not follow the meaning. So then if that does like that, then there nothing happen. And then that person also become maybe get a wrong view and lose devotions. So that's also mislead. The follow the words. So I heard like long time ago in this Tibetan prayer reader. So the Kanjo text, they say the Buddha, this text is like famous, invited the people to read these things, like usually practice like 1 year, some families does donations and ask to read all these texts in the remove the obstacle on family and try to do something good things. So one reader, when he read this text, in that text says, so you're not going to get fire cannot burn, water cannot, something like damage it or something. He think, okay, so if you fire cannot burn, then he put the paper is put in the fire. This fire, this is going to burn. In this says, this fire never burn. Fire never burn means like not talking about these words. Is paper is that the sadhana text is not going to burn. That means fire never going to burn means your absolute true reality is fire never going to burn. So then there's mantra is like power. You know, mantras, no, if you chant the mantra, no going to fire, cannot burn means power of a mantra. The benefit is not going to fire, can burn. But this thing is like, oh, the mantra is writing in the paper, is fire not going to burn. So that's why they put mantras in the fire. And of course, the fire can burn. That is a piece of paper. So that kind of, mislead means. And then you say, oh, chant 100,000 Vajrasattva mantras. You purify all your negative karma. So that also like a person who do really correctly, perfectly, all the whatever teaching says, you have that kind of, generation stage. Visualize and concentration, meditate, everything is perfectly. You have power, but you just chant 100,000 Vajrasattva. Could be still you have a karma. You cannot burn all your karma. So that kind is mislead, means then some is talking about relative truth, but then you think it's absolute truth. Some is talking about absolute truth, and you think it's all relative truth. So that kind of so many things mislead others by means of sutra or mantras. So that's the reason. Uh, don't give away of Bodhisattva life, and you have to know what you're doing, what you're saying, have to understanding Dharma teaching. So that is also we talked here today. Is 82, verses 82, say, endowed with wisdom and joy, I think, I should undertake all that I do and need not depend upon anyone else in any action that I undertake. So that's, we have to learn. So we have to know what we're doing. The Dharma is which kind of level. If you can be a doctor, so you have to know the medicines. All the medicines are not same. So someone sick, you just pick up any medicine, give it to them. That is incorrect, right? So you have to know the patients which kind of they have a disease. Then you have to know which medicine benefit for them. So otherwise, any patient is not always, all the patients are not same. So all the medicines are not same. So you have to know what you're doing, what you're giving information, doing things. That is like giving Dharma for others. You have to know what you're doing. Generalistic Dharma teaching. Then verses 91. When I spit or throw away the stick for cleaning my teeth, I should cover it up with earth. Also, it is shameful to urinate and so forth in water or on land used by others. So we throw something from our mouth or something, not really clean something, throw in the earth. So you have to cover up. But no plastic things cover up, right? So something comes from your body and in not really clean things. It's not affected the environment. Something like, come from your body. It's not going to damage for you environment. You have to cover up. So that's where it's like clean become. It's the main point. We need mindful and awareness. Mindful, we need mindful. Should cover it up with earth. Also, it is shameful too. So you pee in the earth. Also, not pee and the popes. Just someone use the land. It's kept the clean for someone using others. Don't make the dirty. So someone drinking water, just the water used for your something, washing clothes or something, not like that way. Anyway, just keep clean in water or land used by others. Using some others don't make dirty, so keep clean. Then verses 92. So when eating, I should not fill my mouth. Eat noisily or with my mouth wide open. I should not sit with my legs outstretched, nor rub any hands together. So when you're eating, like if you put like so much food in your mouth, that's also no respect for no respect for others, not good for your conduct too, right? That's I think everyone same thing, or the right nose that's everywhere same. So you have very special guests. How are you going to eat? You're going to put all food in your mouth, everything in the table. What you have tried to get everything you put in yourself. No correct, right? Incorrect. Become same as the animal does. Eat noisily or with my mouth wide open. So eating like noisily, make so noisy. That's also incorrect. That too much like chewing, like eating. And that means like you really don't pay attention to other people. Just only you recognize yourself in the room. So many people has like that kind, eating when they eat. And put in something in the table right away they eat it, like don't care others what they get or not. And some people have like that. They just only pay focus for eating. Like same is the hungry ass going to eat the grass. So single pointedly, pay attention food and eat. They don't care about others, what they get or not. The food is sharing for others. Then also like what you like, only you eat that and don't pay attention for others. They have that maybe a couple of dishes comes there. So you have to eat all the dishes a little bit, like not which one best one. You eat everything. I should not sit with my legs outstretched. So then, of course, like that also incorrect. Nor rub my hands together. So, kampa chang de mando chen la pa nim par menyo. No rub my hands together. So like just drawing like this, when you're eating time, like that's also incorrect. That's I don't know much, but some maybe not great, right? Makes it noisy, or when you're washing is okay, but when you're eating time in the front of people doing that also maybe incorrect too.
That could be a cultural thing also, I think.
So if you have many guests together, very important the guests, when you're eating time, doing this is incorrect, right? Not polite, not nice. So that means like you just hang is put somewhere else, not showing outside, like doing things like that where during the eating time. So this is talking about during the eating time, not talking about the wash the hand. Then 93, verses 93. I should not sit alone in vehicle upon beach, nor in the same room with the women of others. In belief, having observed or inquired about what is proper, I should not do anything that would be disliked by the people of world. So that's Shantideva giving for this instruction during the months. So if some other culturally, this also follow the culturally, So people seeing that is not correct, incorrect. The lose the faith and the devotions. The main point Shantideva said, don't do that one. So I should not sit alone in vehicle, upping beds, and only the monk and with one woman and one vehicle or one bed, nor in the same room with the woman of others. So that's also, he says, incorrect. The same thing, like nuns also one men together stay, and that's also incorrect. In belief, the belief means like more important, the most important is the having observed or inquire about that is proper. So whatever people observing or seeing or thinking, something is improper. So that is his Shantideva said, don't do that. That is like just same like everyone, whatever we're doing, so we don't do like something is not people seeing is great, no good things, So whatever we do, conduct is some people have no happy to create, and then they think, oh, this is crazy. So we don't make people think we are crazy. Okay, so usually we also say, oh, this person is crazy. So that means like that person doing something unusual, not really great, like, doing correctly something. So Shantideva said, don't do crazy things. Other people receive that is like not nice, incorrect. So I should not do anything that would be disliked by the people of the world. See, people don't like, then don't do. Okay, so when you drive the car, cut the lane, and jump in front of another car, and or you just too much push in your car is like traffic, or go into like not much doing in here, but some other country, India, that just people don't think about other cars. They just my car is important. They just even see small road, go in there, try to get in the front of them. So that kind of way, And then some area like only one restaurants, like you don't stay in the lane, so you jump in the front. We have that here. So you go into many people link up, you the register or whatever, doing some things, going to get food or register or you buy something, but you jump in front of everyone's. That's also incorrect, right? So that kind, the main point is that kind of Shantideva said don't do. Okay, so because people don't dislike the by people of the world. Just we need mindful and do correctly. So also this is something benefit for others and not causes of attachment, benefit others, and then it's people don't have any dislike, then you are okay, nothing wrong there. But something is like causes of attachment, causes of emotion, causes of like people unhappy and dislike something conduct, so that don't do. So he said that don't do that one. So this part is actually not directly known to us, but it's this not great conduct. Just people slowly they're seeing that it's wrong, then they criticize or say something wrong, so then that become causes of emotion for others. So then 94. I should not giving directions with one fingers, but instead indicate the way respectfully with my right arm, with all my fingers fully outstretched. So someone asks you questions, so you say, it's there means like, say it like there, like don't say pointing like this way, pointing finger. So no respect, like your eye, if you don't look there, just pointing finger, do it this way. It's incorrect. Somidana Mazate means I should not giving direction with one finger. But instead indicate the way, so how to do, respectfully with my right arm. So not left arm, right arm, just seeing like this way, the whole finger, like kind of like, polite. So showing this way, that's also culture, follow the culture a little bit. And so actually say this pointing this way is like, even doesn't matter where you are, like lots of like not really, the good mood. If someone really have a good mood, you ask question something, they just give you like this thing, and that not really respect. And if someone give you like all hang like this way, like showing smiling, and then this way or this way is like kind of more respect. So we have to learn that way. Then with all my fingers fully outstretched. So all your fingers outstretched, not only this pointing finger pointing like this way, all fingers used together. So then you can show the, in giving directions. Say I should not giving direction with one finger, but instead indicate the way respectfully with my right arm, with all my fingers fully outstretched. So someone asks you directions, Shantideva say, if you long as you know, say yes, I know, give it the directions, give it the answers. So not only the showing the finger, so say respectfully giving answer for them. You know some information. Some people ask you questions, so you give the answer. Then no should, verses 95, no should I widely wave my arms about, but should make my point with a slight gesture and a snap of the fingers, otherwise I should lose control. So when you showing something like, not hold like this way, or the pointing like, or stretch your hand, just like kind of like that, like not full body like this way, wide my arms about, but should make my point, just you have to make point, showing this way. And also, if you have to call somebody, and you have to use like fingernail to then ask to come. No, not like during the people, everyone is there, and hey, hello, that also incorrect. Especially in the during the puja, like we are all is in the Dharma center together, gathering together. So that time is like don't calling like yelling and hi, just if you use singer now, everyone quiet, then people can hear. So use that way. Otherwise, I should share lose control. Otherwise, like use like your body, speech, mind is like no mindful. It's not really you pay attention what are you doing. No, you recognizing, what are you doing. Verses 96, just as the Buddhas lay down to pass away, so should I lie in the desired direction when going to sleep, and first of all with alertness, make the same direction to quickly rise again. So when we go to sleep, then, so when we going to sleep, it's the same as the Buddha pass away, led on to Buddha pass away. So should I lie in the desired direction So when going to sleep, is right side is goes, put in the lay down. Your hands put in your heads. Left arm is put in the upper body. Left part of our upper body. So you have to, upper means like just put in the top of your body. Sleep, like that way. After or with alertness, they mindfully going to sleep. Also, people cultivate impermanent, meditate and mindfully sleeping. And also, when you're going to sleep, think about I'm going to wake up early. So make the flame or fire, flame decision to quickly rise again. I'm going to wake up soon as possible and going to practice Dharma. So that's where thinking and go to sleep. So this all is a Shantideva giving, like all the conduct, giving suggestions for us how to do the correctly, take care of our, conduct. Even you go to sleep, how to go to sleep, and how to eat, how to talk with the people, how to give answers. He's giving all the suggestion informations for us. We have to recognize the compassion, this Shantideva compassion, giving all the information us. So then, although I am unable to practice all the limitless varieties of Bodhisattva conduct, I should certainly practice as much as has been mentioned here of the conduct that trains the mind. So then, verses 97, Shantideva said, so you cannot practice all this Bodhisattva's conduct. So people easily think that when you learn all this where Bodhisattva's conduct and use this way of Bodhisattva and also like other Buddha's teaching and other, the scholars' teachings, you study this or you learn and you know they have a limitless various of Bodhisattva conduct. So much Bodhisattva's conduct follow. So that's the reason I am unable to practice all. We not possible to practice all this Bodhisattva's conduct. So then what we have to do, I should certainly practice as much as has been mentioned here. So mention about in this way of Bodhisattva. So Shantideva said, keep this one, what he talked here. That's also okay. Even you cannot practice all these Buddhas in the sutras, this so many teachings in their talk about so many Bodhisattvas conduct. If you cannot follow everything that, but just keep much of you can practice, follow the way of Bodhisattva. This text. So then, I should certainly practice as much as has been mentioned here, so of this conduct that trains the mind. Then use that training our mind. So this Bodhisattva's conduct, taking care of our mind, use the Bodhisattva's conduct, taking care, training our own mind. So not pointing for others, Then next, 3 times by day and 3 times by night, I should recite the sutra of the recited hips. For by relying upon the Buddhas and the awakening mind, may remaining drawn fires will be purified. So verses 98, 3 times by day and 3 times by night. What we have to do? Should recite the sutra of the 3 hips. So that Shantideva said, chant that sutra daytime 3 times, nighttime 3 times. If we do that, then for the relying upon Buddhas and the awakening mind, my remaining downfall will be purified. We receive all the first chapter, received all bodhicitta, vow, and follow the Bodhisattva's conduct, and then we always have mindful and always, broken the vows, Bodhisattva's conduct. So sometimes we create no virtuous deeds, harming for others, whatever we're doing like that kind of, through our body, speech, mind, because the mindfully doing things. So we do that, it's become, everything is purifying, restoring again the vows. So this sutra should recite sutra of the 3 hips, means like Tibetan is called Dongsha. Dongsha is like one confession sutra practice. Like they have a 35 Buddha prayer. 35 Buddha prayer. Is inside there is mostly is a confession and rejoicing and dedication. So this is called 3 hips, means 3 hips: confession, rejoicing, and dedication. So that is included, or is a confession Buddha's prayer. It's a 35 Buddha's prayer. So Shantideva says, if you chant that prayer, then may remaining downfalls will be purified. So all can purified. Whatever do wrong things, that practice can purified. If you can do. So then, or you just chant the Vajrasattva mantras. So no, 99, verses 99. Whatever I am doing in any situation, whether for myself or for the benefit of others, I should strive to put into practice whatever has been taught for that situation. So whatever I'm doing, so whatever we're doing in any situation, our conduct, practice, whether for myself or for benefit of others. The practice is a benefit for ourselves and a benefit for others. So I should strive to put into practice. We have to put practice. So practice is, we already talked, abandon non-virtuous, cultivate virtuous, benefit for others into practice. So we practice that, and whatever has been taught for the situation in this way of Bodhisattva. So we have to practice that, benefit our own and benefit for others. Use this way of Bodhisattva. Verses 100. There's no such thing as something that is not learning by a conqueror's son. Thus, if I am scared in living in this way, nothing will be known meritorious. So there's no such thing as something that is not learned by a conqueror. Son means practitioner, Bodhisattva practitioners. Learn everything, study everything, because we have to benefit for others. If we don't know, then we cannot benefit others. That's the reason Shantideva said, Bodhisattvas have to learn and study. What do we have to study? Bodhisattvas can study medicine, so can help for many patients. Bodhisattvas can study like Buddhist logic book, and who have wrong views, you can make debate with them and clarify wrong view, learn the logic book. And also you can learn Buddhist philosophy and understanding reality, absolute truth, understanding the reality, like kind of situation. What is a samsara? What is nirvana? This 6 realms suffering. Why is where this come from? How to free from the samsara to get in the nirvana? How to get free from samsara? So that's all is like learning reality. It's called learn the Buddhist philosophy. And then of course like other anything have to study, and the reason is benefit for others. That's why this Bodhisattva's son, conqueror's son means conqueror's Buddha. Buddha's son is Bodhisattva. So Bodhisattva is Buddha's heart son, heart desire. So that's the reason Bodhisattvas have to learn everything to benefit others. And example, you have to learn the drive the car if you can serve the other beings. You can learn the medicines, benefit for others. And you can learn just that way, like many different kind. We have to study and also benefit for others. Thus, if I am scared in living in this way, nothing will be no merit to us. Like everything is become causes of happiness. Everything is become, create accumulation merit. Your action through the body, speech, mind. Because if long as you know, you have knowledge, you learn things, then you're giving all this for information, teach for others, benefit for others. Then everything become great, virtuous deeds. Verses 101. So you have to learn these things, then how you have to use that, whether directly or indirectly. I should not do anything that is not for the benefit of others and solely for the sake of sentient beings. I should dedicate everything towards awakening. So what we learn, all this directly benefit others or indirectly benefit for others. We have to do that way. Also virtuous deeds. Directly benefit others, indirectly benefit others. Have to learn, like practice that way. We have to abandon no virtuous deeds, also same thing, directly harm for others or indirectly harm for others. We have to abandon no virtuous deeds, directly harming for others, indirectly harming for others. If you abandon that no virtuous deeds, and then naturally virtuous deeds. So directly benefit others, indirectly benefit others. So that is not for the benefit of others. Whatever we do is like, or is benefit for others. And solely for the sake of sentient beings. Or is thinking about other beings. I should dedicate. So then whatever we do, directly benefit other, indirectly benefit other, everything towards awakening. Or is dedication to the Buddhahood. Means like my practice benefit all these beings become Buddha. So means like towards awakening. Verses 102. Never, even at the cost of my life, should I forsake a spiritual friend who is wise in the meaning of the great vehicle and who is a great Bodhisattva practitioner. So we have to respect and have to take care the spiritual friends. So never ever at the course of my life should I forsake a spiritual friend. So spiritual friend who is wise in the meaning of the great vehicle means like who know the Dharma teachings, Dharma. And who is a great Bodhisattva practitioner, who is a great Bodhisattva practitioners. So then our spiritual teacher and our Sangha and who has a good conduct, who has good Bodhisattva, Bodhicitta, who knows the practice of Dharma, and who has knowledge about the Dharma practice. So there's all kind of that kind of people we have to respect and we have to take care of them. So not harm for them. You have to take care of them. So that is the Shantideva said. That's important. Okay, and who is a great Bodhisattva practitioner? Then 103, verses 103, I should practice entrusting myself to my spiritual master in the manner taught in the biography of Shirasambhava. This and other advice spoken by the Buddha, I can understand through reading the sutras. So we have to practice, I should practice and trust in myself. So we have to understanding, we have to know, we have to learn to my spiritual master in the manner taught in the biography of Shirasambhava, means that the sutra. So in that sutra, Buddha share how to take care Buddha Dharma Sangha. So we have to learn that sutra. If you learn that sutra, then you know how to rely on the teachers. You know how to rely on Buddha, how to rely on Sangha, how to rely on Dharma. So that's the reason we have to learn this sutra. That this and other advice spoken by Buddha. So that is Buddha giving this teaching for his students. Then when you read that sutra, you understanding how to rely on the spiritual teachers and how to rely on the teaching, how to rely on the sanghas. So the main point in that the sutra, what Buddha shares. So Buddha said we have to recognize ourselves is same as the patience. We perceive ourselves as a patient, and we perceive the teacher is the same as the doctor. So we perceive the Dharma is the same as medicine. And we also have perceived the practice Dharma is, we are recovering our illness, taking care, recovering our illness. So that is like 4 different aspects or respect or perceiving, 4 different perceiving, receiving, like perceiving our perceptions. Ourself is same as patient, first one. Second one, the Dharma teacher is the same as a doctor. And the Dharma is the same as medicine. Then recovering illness is so same as the like practicing Dharma. practicing Dharma. So that's 4 different receiving or perceiving, our kind of like our I think it's intention or like receiving like that, but perceiving is correct maybe. How to use words correctly? Perceiving is good or no? Okay. So that's the Buddha said in that sutra. If you think that way, then you know the teacher, Dharma, Sangha, that's all important. Then verses 104, I should read the sutras because it is from them that the practice appear. To begin with, I should look at the sutra of Akashangarbha. Then Shantideva said, when you practice way of Bodhisattva, Bodhisattva's conduct, so you have to read the sutras too. Because the sutra have more informations. You read more sutras, you can learn more. But some reasons, if you think it's like you cannot practice all this in sutra, whatever this says, so then you just focus whatever has been talked for in the way of a Bodhisattva. So Shantideva also talked that is in the verses 99. That's it. You have to keep that, but then sometimes like you want to learn more, you want to know more, you can do something more. Also, you should read the sutras. Because it is from them that practice appear. So that talk more information to begin with, especially when you're going to read sutra. So first one is I should read. Look means read the sutra of Akashangarbha. So that sutra read first. I don't know which kind of text has this in the Kanjo text, that text. So this one is Shantideva during that time is mostly this monks focus for sutra, the Buddha's text. So then during this Shantideva create in this all the commentaries. So after that, more this who's disciples, like who going to learn the Buddhist philosophy, is more focused for commentaries. So during that time, Shantideva asked to read, these sutras. So this time, we say read 37 practice, read way of Bodhisattva, read the Joy Honoring Liberation, read Essence of Mahayana. So read the Lamrim text. So that kind of, this. So that books are more easy and easy to understand. Then verses 105. In addition, I should definitely read the compendium of all practices again and again, because what is to be constantly practiced is very well and extensively shown there. So Shantideva also recommend, in addition, I should definitely read the compendium of all practices. So he mentioned about this text. And during that time, his disciple who was there, they don't understand what that means. Compendium of all practices means they don't know that text. So that text is wrote by Shantideva himself. is more longer than way of Bodhisattva. So Shantideva, he shared this way of Bodhisattva teaching. Then he despair, despair. So he despair after his disciple or who's in the student there, they read all this way of Bodhisattva because they mostly has memorized everything. So they read and they talk about this. Then they don't know what is this text, compendium of all practices. They don't know what that text. So that reason when they meet Shantideva again, they ask this question, what did this text? Where is this text? So then Shantideva mentioned this text. He said, I wrote this one, compendium of all practices. Is he said his Rome, and he's put in the selling and between in the something that he said he put in there. So they found that text. So that one is a more longer than way of Bodhisattva. Then also he has another one shorter than that. That is because what it is to be constantly practiced is very well and extensively shown there. So that one has more informations, conduct of Bodhisattva, where more information on the way of Bodhisattva. He says should read that text. Then he mentioned about a longer one first. Then verses go to 106. It's follow together. 105 verses and 106 verses is a similar follow together. Also, he said, also I should same times look at the condensed compendium of all sutras. So then they also didn't know that text too. Shantideva here he mentioned about two. One is like extensively sharing this way of Bodhisattva, Bodhisattva conduct. One is like shorter, it's condensed. So he mentioned about these two texts. They don't know that two texts. So Shantideva, he told them that both are in his room, and they have to find in his selling. He put there. That also contains of compendium of all the sutras. That is more shorter the way of Bodhisattva. So when Shantideva going to share the teaching, so when he come into the throne, he ready to share teaching, he said, so the first one here mentioned about the first one is he said is too long. Then also he mentioned about the second one is he said that is too short, and I'm going to share something right amount teaching. Then he shared way of Bodhisattva. So this way of Bodhisattva is like middle of like size of these two. So that three text is composed by also this three is composed by Shantideva. He mentioned about read these two sutras. Then also Shantideva said, and I should make an effort to study the works by the some two theaters composed by the exalted Nagarjuna. So then he mentioned about also Nagarjuna's teaching. Nagarjuna also have some condensed composed by the sutras. So he's mentioned about that. So you have to read that text too. The Nagarjuna is way before the Shantideva. So the history, Nagarjuna is the first abbot in the Nalanda University. So Shantideva is after that. So Nagarjuna is already being before the Shantideva, so there he learned the Nagarjuna's teaching. So Shantideva is followed by Nagarjuna. Chandrakirti, Shantideva, they all followed by Nagarjuna. Then verses 107, I should do whatever is not forbidden in those works, and when I see a practice there, I should empirically put it into action in order to guide the mind of worldly people. So this part is like actually condensed way of Bodhisattva. The Shantideva, the me he pointing is, so I should do whatever is not forbidden in those works. So we have to follow, he says, something Buddha said, you shouldn't do something. And mention about like Bodhisattva's conduct, we have to do. So we do that, and something no mention about clearly, but something is similar to Buddha say, Bodhisattvas should do the practice, follow. And we have to do that. And when I see a practice there, so we have to do that. Then, so that actually the main point is here is Buddha shouldn't say don't do things. So then we have to do that. You know, something he not mentioned clearly, but some conduct is very close to the practice Bodhisattva way, and not against, is more direction same. It's not clearly mentioned about anything, like no against way of Bodhisattva, good conduct, or everything, like whatever we do through the body, speech, mind. Shantideva say, do that. I should practice that, you know, practice there. I should impeccably put into action. So we put action, practice action, in order to guide the minds of worldly people. So practice this way of Bodhisattva, guide the other people's mind too, worldly people. Then verses 9, 108. The defining characteristic of guarding alertness in belief is only this: to examine again and again the condition of my body and mind. So actually, it's this 107 verses. It's a conclusion. This chapter, going to say conclusion section. This 107 verses is a conclusion. Bring all the conduct is together, you know, in this chapter's conclusion. So something here says shouldn't do that, something, then Shantideva said do that, and you know, so guided your mind and guided other people's mind and practice. So that is a condense or the conclusion this chapter. Then verses 108, the defining characteristic of guarding alertness. So we use our alertness. So this chapter is alertness chapter. Use the alertness chapter, and we have to guide our body and mind, and also we have to look again and check again and again, because our doing action, body's action, speech action, mind action is correct or not, to examine again and again the contradiction of my body and mind. So check our body and mind again and again, is doing is correct or not, is benefit for other beings or not. So use our awareness. So that is the essence of this chapter, main point of this chapter. So the chapters, the name of the chapter is awareness, and the conclusion of the chapter. Then verses 109. Therefore, I shall put this way of life into actual practice. For what can be achieved by merely talking about it, whereas sick me be benefited merely by reading the medical text. So that reason means like followed by the, in this 108. We have to examine our body, speech, mind, and check and use the awareness and put effort. So therefore, I shall put this way of life into actual practice. Then we have to practice, learn, study this awareness chapter, and then we have to put effort and practice. If we don't practice, even you learn, you know this awareness chapter, doesn't much benefit for you. The reason is for what can be achieved by merely taking about it. If you just saying like words, what going to benefit you? If you know the chapter, if you don't put effort, what going to benefit you? Going to benefit you or not? So he asked question us. So not going to benefit us. The reason is here, example actually, whereas sick me be benefited merely by reading the medical text. If someone's sick, then you don't give medicine. You just read the medical text for the person. The person is going to recover or not. So he asked question for you. So everyone said no, yeah? Okay, then same thing. Shantideva said, if you read this way of Bodhisattva and knows the words, but not put practice, then not going to get benefit. Not going to get benefit means we cannot purify our karma, cannot create accumulation, merit, cannot benefit any other beings. So we are always still same as other beings. So the someone is sick, then not only just read the medical text and have to give medicine, and then the patient also have to eat the medicine. Patient just receive the medicine and doctor give all the suggestions, patient don't do anything, then the patient can recover. They put medicine in the home, not possible, right? So they have to do action, eat medicine, and they have to recover the illness. So Shantideva main point is like we have to learn this chapter, and also then we have to put effort. How to put effort to practice? Then even you read this text, also you're practicing. You read this, you are practicing, reading. And sometimes like people misunderstand, or read is nothing benefit. Your reading is practicing. So you know you receive the way of Bodhisattva teaching, but this book, you live in your home, you not opening up, then you not practicing, right? So you practice means like, oh, you receive this way of Bodhisattva. Sometimes like when you have time, you have to read and log the commentary and read again and again. That is we practice. Practicing that way, you know. Then the next is, okay, so finish this chapter. Main point is this chapter is way of Bodhisattva. The awareness chapter is awareness chapter. So that chapter is chapter 5. Chapter 5 awareness is way of Bodhisattva is finished. So we're going to finish that today. This time also gone. So good timing finish. Thank you everyone. Now I'm going to do the prayers, dedication. Maho, in the center is marvelous Buddha Amitabha of boundless light. On the right side is Lord of great compassion, and on the left is Vajrapane, the Lord of powerful means. All are surrounded by limitless Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Immeasurable peace and happiness is the blissful fueling of Devachi. When and all beings pass from samsara, may we be born there without taking samsara rebirth. May I have the blessing of meeting Amitabha face to face, by the power of blessing of the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions. May we be attaining this aspiration without hindrance. Tiyata Pinsandeya Avam Bodhanaya Soha. Bodhicitta, the excellent precious mind, where it is unborn, may it arise. Where it is born, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. By this virtue may I achieve omniscience by defeating all enemies, confusion. May all who towers on the wave of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the ocean of samsara. As Manjushri the Vero realized the ultimate state, and as did Samantha, but I will follow in the path and fully dedicate all the merit for all sentient beings. May the teaching of Guru Digomba Ranashri, who is omniscient Lord of Dharma, Master of interdependence, and continue in the increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until end of the samsara. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Khenpo.
See you evening.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Khenpo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Khenpo.
Thank you, Shantideva.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you to Shantideva.
Thank you.
Khenpo.
Thank you for your effort.
Thank you, Khenpo.